Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, Seven of Swords. I feel like there's a lot of people around you right now that are trying to tell you what to do, you know? The Seven of Swords is a card called futility, because I feel that you're trying to stick to a certain path in life, that you have a plan, right? But there's energy coming in from other places that are trying to interrupt your plan. It might literally be sort of an unexpected family member, calling, a communication from somebody that you really weren't expecting to hear from. I'm kind of getting this idea that there's like a reunion of family or something taking place, where you're usually not around all these people, but suddenly now they're all there, right? And I feel like you're sort of this. You don't like big crowds, first of all. And you don't like a lot of people telling you what to do. It's like you didn't ask for their opinions, but here they are coming in. Okay? So I feel that the work for you right now is trying to stay focused on your path. It's trying to keep your energy on your path according to plan, not getting lost in the chaos of all this other energy. Right? It's kind of like you found the needle in the haystack. You don't want to lose the needle now. Right? In all of these other voices, you don't want to lose sight of your goal or your path or your plan. Right? Or even your beliefs. Right? So we're going to put this card into some context. We're going to see what might be going on here. We've got now a very deep emotional energy with the Queen of Cups, Prince of Cups, the Three of Wands. And the Hermit, your power card, there it is. The Hermit is the card that rules the sign of Virgo. I think that's a very good sign. And we've got an Emperor in the future position. Okay. I think this is good, but the water energy is sort of creeping up. We have the Universe card, the Four of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the Three of Cups. Beautiful. Beautiful at the end. This is a celebration. Now, this might even be that maybe you are expecting some sort of communication or contact, or maybe it is kind of like your parents are coming to visit, or you're going to visit family or something like that, and you're expecting it to be stressful, right? You're expecting that Seven of Swords, but maybe what we see instead, that it actually is going to be a very good experience for you, a very pleasant sort of encounter. Okay. Now, maybe this isn't with family. It feels like family, but maybe it's an old friend. Maybe there is literally a family reunion sort of coming up, or I don't know if it's a high school reunion, or there's some event coming up for you. And it's either you're visiting, maybe a father figure. I feel like there's some meeting here. Maybe it's between you and a friend, or you and a lover, or a pen pal, right? Maybe you've been communicating with somebody long distance, but I feel like the meeting is going to happen, right? And it's a good thing, but you're not so happy about it. You're kind of nervous about it, I think. Yeah. We're going to select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here. We're going to put Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. Bates, the bullfrog in love, right there on top of that card. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and give us our confirmation if you have a prediction. for that card. Put it in the comments down below. Let's do it together as a group exercise. All right. Okay, let's take a look around the room. We've got major, 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 major. A lot of major arcana energies. I feel like there's some odd energy between the Hermit and the Emperor. Right? We kind of think of, if we think of an emperor here, we think the Hermit as being kind of like that old wise wizard that's trying to tell the emperor, what the stars are saying, what the tarot cards are saying, and how to move forward with something. And of course, the emperor, doesn't always believe what the old wise wizard says. So I feel that there's a necessary relationship here, but there's some animosity, there's some conflict here, okay? And it might even be, if this is a father figure, or if this is a friend, or if this is even a boss at work or something, I feel that there's a need for you to just be left alone. Like, you feel like you just don't want to have to partner up with this person. You don't want to be stuck in a room with this person. You want to do your own thing your own way. And that's why we've got the Seven of Swords, that you're trying to stay out of the crowd. You don't want that hectic mental energy. You don't want to even just the conversation between two people. It's like you just want the silence. You just want peace and quiet, to pursue your work. And maybe this is a situation where you know this about yourself, right? And you know that you're somebody who does their best work when they're left alone. You're someone that can work very independently. You don't need a lot of supervision. Maybe this Emperor card is you actually becoming the supervisor, and it's sort of like you've become your worst enemy, So you don't want people supervising you and breathing down your neck and looking over your shoulder, but now you're being asked to do that for others. And it's kind of like, that's not me, I'm not that person, right? And that's the Three of Wands talking back there, yeah. But then we see, of course, we have the universe and the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this is an opportunity for you to really grow and expand. Not only expand in the actual your physical world, expanding the borders of your life, expanding your bank account, your resume, your experience, you're broadening your horizons. I feel like this is also kind of expanding your sense of self. Yeah, and who you think you are and what you think you're capable of. I wonder if you have this very sort of very solid sense of identity. And sometimes when we kind of get that with the Four of Cups here, is sort of representing that a little bit, and the fixed water energy with the Prince of Cups underneath, that maybe you have this very firm, specific, solid idea of who you are. But maybe spirit, maybe life is showing you that you're being too rigid in that idea, that you need to expand and be open to different things and try different energies and have the ability to sort of let some of those beliefs go. I'm not supervisor material. I'm not someone that wants to supervise. I'm not that person. That's not me. That's not my identity. And we're just so sure of that, But Spirit's kind of saying, well, maybe this is a good role for you. Maybe this is a good path for you. Maybe it's going to lead to you opening up and expanding your idea of who you are. And sometimes between these two cards, the Three of Wands and the universe, it kind of feels like a loss of identity. It kind of feels that this expanding universe is getting so big that we're losing our sense of who we are. We're getting further and further away from who we are, right, in this expanding universe. I guess that's probably as far away as I can get them. Maybe that's not the way it actually is, Maybe this is not taking you further away from yourself. Maybe it's bringing you closer to yourself, but maybe you're getting further away from who you thought you were. So there's a little bit of this sort of cognitive dissonance going on, especially with that Seven of Swords here. You're the type of person that like to have these firm beliefs. You've got this way of doing things, this way of being, this identity, this sort of ace of swords in the middle, but then we have all these other little swords on the sides, and it's just like, no, I don't want to think about those. I don't want to entertain those ideas. I don't want to think about that, you know? And so in some ways, I think you're perhaps now sort of rejecting these other things that Spirit is showing you are part of your nature. You know, are things that maybe you are good at, or maybe things that you need to experience to come to a deeper sense of self, a deeper understanding of who you are, not as some fixed and very rigid, fixed identity, fixed image, but as a living, breathing, growing, changing image or a process of energy, rather than a kind of static picture, right? So anyway, 7 is an odd number. The 3 back here is the odd number. The 3 up here is an odd number. The Hermit is the 9th mystery of the Tarot. It's an odd number. But, we have fixed energy here. We've got fixed energy here. We've got fire. We've got water, a lot of water. And water is about the images that we see, right? And we kind of think that we kind of think that we can see our reflection. We know who we are. We can see the image of ourselves. But like water, you throw a little pebble in the water. You know, anything touches the water. That's the lightest little feather touches the surface of the water, it's going to distort the image, right? And that's how sort of fragile almost our sense of self can be, or the image that we hold of ourselves. Any kind of information coming in that's in conflict with who we are is going to cause a huge disturbance, okay? And for some of you, this is going to be the father figure coming in. This is going to be the meeting with that person that is going to sort of challenge who you think you are. It's going to bring up a lot of old stuff, a lot of identity stuff, a lot of feelings that have been sort of firmly fixed in place, okay? And I think this is a very good thing, because I think that the water energy, there's a lot of water energy. Emotionally, there's something that's sort of been crystallized. We got to break up that iceberg and let that water flow. Okay? So whatever this emperor is for you, if it's a person, if it's a role, if it's an aspect of your identity, if it's an experience that you're moving forward into, it's a necessary part of your growth. Okay? The Queen of Cups right in the middle here. This is a situation coming your way that's going to really leave you emotionally open. You know, it's a chance for you to really lift the veil with how you feel about things. It's going to show you, I think, when you look down into yourself, into your emotions, why you feel how you feel. I think you're going to look down, you're going to see that there's something down there. This is almost like, this is the little crystal, down at the bottom of the pool. This is that little thing that just isn't dissolving, and it maybe needs to dissolve, because I think it's preventing your growth, it's preventing your success, whether we're talking career or emotionally, in terms of relationships or in terms of your spirituality, your identity, all these things. This is what's down beneath the surface, and it's kind of stuck. It's like, this is that little bit of sugar down at the bottom of the glass that just won't dissolve. And you're stirring and stirring and stirring, and it's just stuck there against the side of the glass, and it won't budge. I don't think you're intentionally stirring. I think something's coming in and stirring the pot. That's the 7 of Swords, right? Something is stirring the pot. You don't like it. But it's necessary to dissolve that little bit of emotional, coagulation. We've got to break that little bit of sugar up, or maybe it's salt, whatever. This is that fixed emotion. We're very firm and committed to how we feel about something, and there's no flexibility. It's kind of an odd way, right? Water energy, but very fixed. It's like that ice cube that just refuses to melt, and it's not very watery. It's not very water-like, right? Because water is flows. It sort of adapts, and it's able to be flexible. It's able to sort of to change how it looks and change its appearance, and it's open to all sorts of possibilities. It doesn't really reject anything. So I think that this is a particular feeling you have about yourself or about this other person or about this situation, and you're being asked to open up and consider letting go of that feeling and taking in some new information and see if it changes anything for you. It's not saying that what you feel is wrong. It's not saying that you're holding on to something that you need to let go of. Maybe it's time to loosen your grip on it a little bit and see if anything else sort of exists in that spot. Okay? Could be a resentment. It could be even a feeling of guilt. It could be this idea of our identity, right? And I don't care what you tell me, I'm not going to change my heart. This is you feel a certain way about something, and nothing's going to change that. Okay. We see the Three of Wands back here. I feel like you've worked very hard in your life to overcome negative energy from your environment, from other people, maybe childhood, maybe just a lot of experiences, okay? And I think sometimes the experiences that we go through in life, well, I don't even think sometimes, I think most of the time, the experiences we go through in life sort of form our sense of self. They form our identity, right? So if you go through a lot of negative experiences in life, we tend to internalize those, and those become solid, buttons, really, solid knots of karma, let's say, that sort of form who we are, our identity in that particular, in the present, yeah. And I think that a lot of the time, those are the things that we are being asked to work through in life. When we talk about the star card and we say that it sort of illuminates us from within, shows us where our buttons are, shows us where our knots of karma are, right? Our blind spots and all these different things, our coagulations. That's what we're being asked to look at now. Okay, and I think the Three of Wands is saying that you're no stranger to this kind of work. Okay, but there's something here that is connected with this Emperor energy. This is Aries energy too, and this might be a relationship with a father figure. It might be a relationship with a boss right now. That's sort of it's connected with your past in some way. This is a future sort of event that's connecting with your past. And this is something that's making you feel a kind of way. It's activating a lot of this water energy. And I think it's time for us to deal with this now. It's not something that you can avoid. Okay? But again, with the Hermit energy, you're somebody that likes to sort of, this is the card you know who you are, and you know what is meant for you, and you know that you function best when you are able to be in your place, your home, your office, away from everybody else. No one's breathing down your neck. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. It's kind of like you like to be independent and get your work done, and that's where you feel comfortable. And of course, the Emperor in the future is kind of saying, well, your boss is going to come and audit your work now. That this person is going to come and ride along with you while you do your work today. And this is making us feel some kind of way. Yeah. We don't like this. I don't like this. I used to work for a company where I was driving all day, it's just me. I got comfortable just being by myself. Like, I'd go whole days without saying a word, And then every once in a while, the management would do a ride along, where someone from the management team would ride along with you for your day and kind of watch you do your work. I hated that, right? My ascendant sign is Virgo. So I'm Virgo rising, So I understand this. I hated it. I would get uncomfortable. It'd be awkward. I'd be sweating. I'd make mistakes, and it's be like, that's not real. That's not how I work. Usually everything goes smoothly, but you're here watching me, and now I'm nervous, and now I'm making a bunch of mistakes, And not only that, but you're trying to do your work, you're in your flow, and then somebody else is trying to talk to you about things and ask you questions. It's just like you're breaking my concentration. You're adding all of this static to my focus now, and I don't like that. Okay, and maybe because I'm neurodivergent, it's a little bit more significant, for me sometimes, but that's what this energy is doing. And then maybe, this could be a family member, this could be a father figure, it could be the boss, it could be a friend. But it's somebody that's coming into your area and is sort of disturbing the flow of your life that you're used to. It's like they're adding a bunch of static when you're trying to listen to the ball game or something, So we wish to avoid this, but I don't think you can right now. I think that you've got to deal with this and allow it to sort of, to do its magic, really. This is something that's going to, if we can break down whatever this fixed feeling is, if we can really look beyond the surface, right? That's what the Queen of Cups is about, peeking beyond the surface of something to see what's really down there. Then you'll see that it all comes down to this sort of fixed feeling, this fixed, almost a belief that you have, right, about who you are. Now we're going to move to the path of the serpent now, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, and it supports the channel. I appreciate that. The channel's growing, and the bigger it gets, the more people we reach, and the more I'm able to continue doing this. And that's why you're the most important part of this channel, and I really do appreciate all of you, okay? Your general energy then is this. This is kind of, it's the world or universe card. To me, in your case, this feels like our initial feeling is to get as far away from this situation as possible. This is kind of a card that says it's the infinite universe. There are plenty of places to run and hide, but we can't escape from this. We can't run from this thing, okay? Even though we may want to. Because of the Wheel of Fortune, now I didn't talk about this. When we're on the path of the dove, this is the card we don't want. I don't want to be bothered with karma. I don't want to be bothered with, the timing of this. It's like, I don't want that. I don't want this to be the time, because maybe it's saying, well, this is the time that you got to meet with the boss. It's like you're supposed to have your ride along, on Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. and you say, no, I don't want that. I don't want the clock to say it's time now for me for this meeting or this interaction, right? But it's also saying when we're over here that we don't want, it's almost like we don't want the expansion or the opportunity to climb the ladder because I'm comfortable here where I am. Because remember we said with the Hermit and the Emperor, it's kind of like you're being asked to take on a position or take on a role that kind of represents your worst nightmare. That you are this kind of solitary person that does your work, that likes your quiet, workspace, and then you're being sort of you're being asked to take on this job of the supervisor or the one that has to conduct the meetings or it's kind of the opposite of your nature, right? And even if it pays you more money, even if it really is an expansion of your life or of your career or whatever, you're kind of saying, no, I don't want that, right? But once we get to the path of the serpent, this becomes the card we need. And I think we're realizing that we need it because we can't avoid it, so we might as well work with it, okay? So when you have this card as your general energy, we have to look at this a different way, not as I got to go run and hide, but, let me face this situation, and let me turn it to my advantage. Let me make the very best of this. I can't avoid it, so let's confront it, let's do it. This is about opening your mind, opening your heart, expanding your horizons, being open to the potential bliss and benefits and the wondrous outcome that this could have. Okay? It may be challenging in that you have to confront something within yourself, to this crystallized emotional thing. But I think that this could be a very big step for you, not only in terms of career or in terms of your maybe family relationships or whatever, but in terms of your own spiritual growth, this is a big step. Okay? This is something that's actually going to bring you closer to your sense of self. We think it's bringing us, remember, the expanding universe, bringing us further away, taking us further away from our sense of self, from our identity. But I think what it's doing is it's adding to your identity. So it's not like we're just expanding space and we're creating empty space. No, we're creating this, and it's like a bellows. And when we expand it, it's sucking in more stuff, right? So you're adding to your sense of self. You're growing in your identity, right? It's not empty space, right? It's not empty space. But the Four of Cups in the position of the environment tells us that we have to sort of melt this ice cube we've got in our heart a little bit, you know? That we've got to be a little bit more open to the people around. Okay, not that you're not a cold person at all, but I feel that if you don't like something, then you don't like it. You know, if you don't like a particular person, then that's it. You've already made up your mind. There's no doubt about it. Don't try to change my mind. I don't like them. There's this, and maybe it's even not even about people, but about certain qualities, certain roles, certain experiences, right? I feel that your heart is sort of closed off to anything that is not part of your sense of self or your self-identity. So with this, it's kind of going back to this fixed water energy that we've got to open up to this idea of, let's expand our sense of self. Let's be open to new experiences. Let's be open to new people. We can still decide we don't like people, we don't like experiences, but if we're closed off, then we're not trying. Right? We got to open our heart a little bit. We got to be willing to connect with people. And because sometimes, you know, this isn't like a heart that's just cold and icy. Sometimes this is someone that is protecting their heart, right? And so I'm not going to go out and sail into a storm. I'm going to stay here in this harbor where it's safe, where I'm not going to get hurt. I'm not going to sail into a storm. So I think there's something there where we're avoiding a lot of emotional connections because we don't want to get hurt again. Okay? We've locked the doors. We're keeping all the bad stuff out. Problem is we're keeping all the good stuff out too. All right? And Spirit is saying that it is time that it's time for you to level up. This is the spiritual timepiece. This is Spirit's wristwatch, you know, and saying it's time. It's time for you to expand. It's time for you to grow. This is a big, you know, it's time to go up a few rungs of the ladder, you know. And we can't avoid this. This is a cycle of karma. Right, and even with the Four, the Four is the idea of a completion, right? And it's an emotional completion of a cycle. So I think that it's sort of wrapping up whatever this past thing was for you, so that you can continue growing and expanding your life. And whether this Emperor is a person or a role or represents you kind of you know, the ambition that you have going forward in life, you know, of seeking out those types of things that you know you're good at, but there's just this kind of, there's an aversion to doing these things. There's an aversion to, you know, let's say going and applying for that big job that's going to give you a lot of responsibility and et cetera, you know. But by the end of it, the final outcome is that Three of Cups. This is jubilation. This is celebration. It's a family feeling to me. This is you really going after what your heart desires and not being held back by whatever this fixed water energy is. Now the water is flowing. It's overflowing, right? And this is a fountain of joy and beauty and bliss and, you know, and jubilation and celebration. And this is sort of saying that the Hermit's got to re-engage with life and enjoy this. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy what you're capable of. Enjoy what you have the ambition and the courage to pursue in life. Okay, if this is a big job opportunity, we don't want to take it for whatever reason. You're limiting yourself. Okay, if you're trying to say no to this Emperor, why are you trying to say no? Okay, Spirit's saying that if you say yes, if you at least choose to explore this, it's really going to be a breakthrough for you, big time. Okay. Let's see what the mystery card reveals to us. I'm expecting here, oh gosh, what am I expecting? I'm expecting something more than just the 3s and 4s, right? I don't want any more 7s. How about a 9 or a 10, right? Cups or pentacles would be nice. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's take a look. A Page of Swords. Okay. You're sort of testing the waters a little bit. That you're being willing to have the conversation at least. See, with the 7 of Swords, you're not willing to have the conversation. That all the other things, like so many voices are just, it's just a cacophony of noise in the room. When you're trying to listen to one voice, you're trying to listen to your own voice. And all these other people are talking. And it's just like, can y'all shut up? You know? This card, though, is about you saying, okay, I'm going to attempt to listen. Sorry, I had to hit the sneeze button there. Pardon me, I think we're getting a little bit of a cold in our household here. As you maybe could tell, my voice is not its usual quality, I guess. But with this, we're being willing to listen. We're at least opening ourselves up, And but this is air energy. This is kind of saying like, okay, I'm not going to change my heart yet. I'm not going to change how I feel about you. But I'm going to at least have a conversation. Maybe this is something going on with Dad. Okay? I'm getting a K name for somebody. I don't know the letter K. Initials, first, middle, or last. I don't know what the K is. I felt like you moved a lot when you were a kid. Is that right? This might be a relationship with a father figure or an older male energy. The male energy that raised you. And it might be the conversation that says, look, I'm not going to change how I feel about you, but I'll at least sit down and have a conversation. Maybe I'm open to changing how I feel, but it's going to take some time. It's going to take some convincing, It's going to take a lot of conversations, But this is a big step. This is huge progress. That you're at least acknowledging that, okay, I could change my feelings if there was a good reason to. Right now I'm not, but I'm capable of it. And that's key. And this is you being willing to have that conversation and explore the possibilities of maybe at some point down the road in the future, possibly thinking about maybe doing it. So this is good. Really good. Really, really good. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? It's free. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.